subject of today's program, let's have a look into the mind of Emily Drew. She first started taking film classes in England and taught herself how to edit videos in Windows Movie Maker. The Humanities Communication Arts Department at Norwalk Community College presents The New Directors, the show that introduces you to television's future writers, directors, and personalities. And now, join our host, Thomas Carlucci, to meet the new director.
All of the people involved with this program are students in the television production course and are directing, switching, controlling audio, operating cameras, and acting as talent for the first time today. The guests you are about to meet are students who, when are not on camera, are behind the scenes working hard to bring this program to you with as few mistakes as possible. Each student will write and direct 4 different productions. This program will give them the chance to talk about themselves, the productions they have completed, and give you the chance to get to know them and watch their progress throughout the semester. Our guest today is a person who is an NCC student in the film and TV production course. She has also been to England and taken a media-based course there. It was there that she got the interest in filmmaking and TV production. And now, I would like you to meet our guest for today, Emily Drew. Emily, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So you're interested in film. What have you done outside of this class?
Well, it first started when my mom was chasing after a PhD in archaeology, and so she moved the entire family over to England. And I had absolutely no friends there. I was horribly bullied for being an American. They'd make fun of like everything. And so I found an interest in watching YouTube videos, which does sound rather pathetic, just watching YouTube videos when not in class. But they looked really fun to make, and so I hey, I want to learn to make those. At first I just started making slideshows with Windows Movie Maker, which was a bit tricky to do at first since it was just pictures matching up to the music. This one is actually the first one I did that was actually animation, an actual animated music video, hence AMV. It was done with the anime known as Naruto, which at the time was pretty awesome, but now it's just sort of one of those overrated ones that everyone either knows about or doesn't know about. It's pretty fun to make.
That's awesome.
All with Windows Movie Maker. This particular one, I actually didn't film it for this, since I made this like a year or so ago, but I used like Hypercam, or one of those free download things where you can film the computer screen, and so I'm like, hey, I'm going to film this. And so I filmed it, and it came in really useful for this.
Okay, so can you tell us why you decided to take the TV production course?
To learn how to use programs other than just Windows Movie Maker, since that one really is, it's the free program that comes on every single computer. So I wanted to learn how to use the other ones, like Avid, or the one I used in England, which is Acrobat Adobe Pro, I think. It was pretty easy to learn how to do some of the things. I'm no expert at it now, but it's also in the field where I wouldn't mind getting work someday as a film editor.
Okay. Now, what are some of the most useful things you've learned in the TV production course?
A lot of things. One of them would be that storyboarding and using a tripod is actually very, very important. A lot of the things that I did, I just wouldn't have been able to unless I storyboarded them first. Another one that one of the techniques that I didn't even know existed until this class would have been the poor man's dissolve, where you start filming, throw it out, go to the next scene, and then bring it back into focus. That one I just didn't even notice in films, and now I'm actually, hey, that's a poor man's dissolve. And it was really funny, one time my dad was like, that's a what? The lines, I knew a bit about them from the previous course in England, but not that much, such as the diagonal showing action or dominance, and then line from the center meaning joy. rules of third, I didn't know actually at all about. Like before, when I'd take like pictures on like family vacations, I'd just take a picture of something directly in the center of it, and it would be okay, but it just like looked kind of boring. So either having the main focus either on one of the top two corners or one of the bottom two corners does actually work with making it look more interesting.
Okay. Can you tell us about the productions you've created for the TV1 class, the Learning Project, the Action Sequence, the New England Seasonal Project, and the Orange Project?
All right. The first one I'll talk about is the Learning Project, which was the first one we did in this course. Where they weren't really telling a story, it's just sort of learning the basics of using tripod, storyboarding it. It was just simply me logging into the computer, but we learned how to do close-ups and clean and exits and entrances to show directly what's happening.
Must have took a lot of hours to do this.
It did, took like a full half an hour. The next one is the action sequence, which was actually telling a story. It was a pretty basic story, but it still was able to get across what was happening without sound. Getting a call from a friend, and then going to meet the friend. This one was pretty fun to do because it didn't take as long, but still looked pretty decent.
Telling the story without sound. I like it.
The next one I would have to say would be the fall one, which took longer to make, over a few weeks, but I actually didn't mind that because it was relaxing. I used my own yard for the beginning of it and then finished it up in Greenwich near my grandma's house. I was able to use my dad for the sound. He was able to guitar pick the
Nice.
melody. It was pretty difficult for him considering he's left-handed and he was using his left hand.
Now this is your Orange Project?
Yeah, the orange one. This one I used my friends from Anime Club who had a lot of fun doing it. They're very expressive. This one, it came out a lot clearer. I didn't need to take that many redo shots. I still need to get the ending of it. But so far it's done pretty good.
Okay. Now I know you had one project that you felt was your best. Tell us about it while we watch a sample of the video with the music you selected.
All right. I'll use my fall one with the music my dad was playing. I liked this one the best because I didn't feel rushed. Since I had a few weeks to do it, I was like, okay, I can do a little bit today, a little bit tomorrow. Film a few scenes over like the weekends when I'd go up to my grandma's house. I had to film my dad playing it a few times though, because a few times he went a bit too rock and roll for it, and it just didn't fit at all. And finally we ended him just picking the chords,
Right.
which is difficult since he's left-handed and he lost the tip of
Really?
his finger in a carpentry accident. Pretty much where I have the Band-Aid.
Wow.
It's where he cut his finger off. But it still sounded really good,
Very nice.
so I was pleased to use it.
Very nice. Now, you mentioned the variety of things you've learned in this course. What was the most interesting and important skill you learned, and how will you put it to use?
I'm going to put to use the shallow depths of field, the moving the camera closer, telephoto lens, low f-stop numbers, to get that good switch focus. Could use that one, and then also the head and nose room, and maybe some of the lines as well for filming that one act scene I made in England. It was one of the school projects was to do something, either like a presentation or a slideshow or a little act play about some form of protest, and I chose the suffragette movement.
Okay.
So my little play that was like just 5 minutes was a woman being force-fed, and the guard and her were telling some of the facts of what was happening. I wouldn't mind filming that.
Today, we got to meet someone who has taken a film and TV course in England for a few years and taught herself the very basic editing with Windows Movie Maker. I would like to thank our guest Emily Drew for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. We hope you enjoyed meeting some of television's future directors, and we hope you will continue to join us each week to watch our progress. Thank you and good day.
This has been The New Directors, with your hosts, Thomas Carlucci, directed by Tara Camiglo. I'm your announcer, Derek Schmidt. The New Directors is a Norwalk Community College student production.